West Ham United have announced their third summer signing, and it's another keeper. Not because of his position this time, but because of his ability, his potential, and most importantly, his age. Welcome Pablo Fornals, the attacking midfielder from Villarreal, 23 years of age, and a deal worth to be around £27 million. Now, in this video, you're going to hear a few views from West Ham United fans on the player, as well as the deal, and we want to hear your opinion as well. So drop your comments below the video once you've listened to it. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, subscribe to the channel, and let's get on to talk about our new attacking midfielder.
I think this is an absolutely excellent signing for us. I think we needed to see a step forward this season, not just in Hughes' losses and Pellegrini's first season in charge. You know, we needed to see that transition period where it wasn't just one summer and done. We were actually able to carry it on and pick a player up of, you know, quite a substantial fee in our second season, with those guys sort of running things behind closed doors. I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of Fornals. I've seen a few videos flying about on Twitter of some of his skill moves where he sent someone back to preschool with a drag back Megs. It looked fantastic. I know we can't obviously base off of that video specifically, but what Guillem Balaguer, the La Liga journalist, what he said about the fact he's a midfielder in a Barcelona-style mould, I think is absolutely excellent for us. I think when we needed to take that next step, we need to be signing players like this, people that in the top six that have also looked to sign, because I know Arsenal are very disappointed that they didn't capitalise on signing this guy sooner, and for the rumoured price that we've got him for, it's an absolute snip, and I think it's brilliant not only for the fact that we've signed a top player, a young top player or a young promising player. It's the fact that he can play in that further forward role where we've had a lot of injuries with Lanzini obviously and Wilshere in the last season. So if those guys were to pick up some injuries again next season, at least we've got another backup that can play, or not a backup per se, but somebody that will start regularly, and there's a competition for places, and I think that can only be healthy for us next season. We've always wanted to see more top players at the club, and this is just another step in the right direction. I'm absolutely thrilled with the signing, and fingers crossed come next season he can show everybody at West Ham what he's shown so far in La Liga, especially last season. So it's a thumbs up from me. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the claret and blue next season.
I don't know a lot about the guy. I don't think I've ever seen him play. But what I can tell you is I've got ultimate trust in Julius and Pellegrini. They pulled some real rabbits out of the hat in the last summer transfer window, and I've got no reason at all to believe that's not going to be the case this time. This guy comes highly rated. Guillem Balaguer really rates him highly, thinks it's a big coup for West Ham, and he's one guy I really do respect his opinion, especially on Spanish players and players playing in the Spanish league. He's the oracle over there, if you like, so that's really, really good to hear. Yeah, attacking midfielder. That was a bit of a strange one, wasn't it? We all thought we were going to get a defensive midfielder. We all thought we needed a defensive midfielder. And we've gone for this guy. I don't know, maybe that's a case of we didn't want to get ripped off for a defensive midfielder. Perhaps the prices we were being quoted for the players we wanted were just too high. And they've really seen a bargain to be had here, which actually is a good way of doing business. You're not necessarily always shopping in that particular area, but if you can find an absolute bargain where a player's perhaps vastly underpriced, go and do it, because we could be bringing this guy in for around 24 million. Could be worth double that in a year's time after a season in the Premier League if he hits the ground running. So it is, as far as I'm concerned, I do believe that's a good way of doing business, and I think we've done the right thing here. And I'm just thinking on to the new season. I mean, the attacking talent now we've got at the club, when you think about it, when you think of this new geezer, you've got Lanzini, if and hopefully he stays, and Arnautovic, if we get the old Arnautovic of a year ago before his tantrum, Yarmolenko to come back, hardly played last season, Antonio had a great end to the season, and of course Felipe Anderson. The thought of those attacking players linking up, absolutely salivating I am. Exciting times. Pellegrini wants to play attractive attacking football. You're going to get it with players like that. And we've got enough good attacking players that not just in the starting 11, there's going to be room for rotation, which will also be good to see. Keep players fresh. Hopefully, you won't pick up so many injuries in the new season. So yes, it is. It's fantastic to see this is, and I think we've spent our money wisely by all accounts, from what I've seen, bits I've heard. Without actually watching him play, it's difficult to say, but like I say, the right people are making the right noises about this guy for me to get excited, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, let's just hope we can add one or two more gems. Still think we need a striker, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. So hopefully they can get a deal done there. And yeah, it looks exciting for us. It really does. Man City, first game of the season at home. Fixtures came out yesterday. I'm buzzing for it now. Once we've got that first one in the door, that first big signing, should I say, once that first big signing through the door, you just get really excited. You just can't wait to see them play and see how they're going to link up with everybody else. So, yeah, it's good times. Welcome, Pablo. And, yeah, hopefully many long and happy years at the club. Come on, you Irons.
There's two halves to this signing for me. The first one is the actual player himself. I'm super happy with it. I think I really like his profile. I like his ability. I like his stats. I like his age. I think his age is perfect for us. And he comes across as that sort of next level signing we've all been crying out for. Also, he's been playing with Santi Cazorla. And as a Santi Cazorla fanboy, more than happy for that to be the case. The other side of it, though, is the squad side. And with that, I'm not entirely certain it's the right move for us. There's that idea of you're only as strong as your weakest link, and I don't think we're weak in that area of the pitch at all. I think attacking midfield is actually somewhere we're incredibly strong in. Lanzini and Wilshere play very, very similar roles and in a very, very similar position to where he plays. However, of course, one is incredibly injury prone and the other one's just come back from a major injury, and we're not sure where that's going to go yet. So if Pellegrini feels like we need some extra reinforcement in that area, we might need someone a bit different in that area. I think him and Huselos have earned the trust. I completely and utterly trust their judgment. Would I personally have spent such a large proportion of our small budget on someone who I could perceive as maybe being superfluous? I wouldn't have personally, but I 100% trust their decisions. And as a player, I'm incredibly excited to see him play in a West Ham shirt.
Pablo Fornals is not a player I recognise. His name's, to be honest with you, I've never heard of him. Okay, I've never heard of him. But I've had a look at the stats. I'm a stats man. Now, last season was okay. His passing, etc. is encouraging, but his assists and goals didn't jump out. The season prior to that was a little bit more encouraging. But you need context and things like this, and that is what journalists over in La Liga, well-respected journalists as well, have applied to it. They think we're getting a bargain, first of all. They seem to think what we're getting for the outlay is fantastic. And they think the top teams, Champions League teams, are missing out not going for this player. That's very encouraging for a start. His age also, he's 23 years of age now, so he's still learning. He's got a long way to go in terms of how good he could get. He's in charge of that now. But that's also something that you need to take into consideration. They seem to think that last season he got played out wide a bit, and that suffered, that impacted his game a bit. More worryingly, and I say worryingly, I'm not going to worry about it too much, but something to take note is in January he didn't get his move. He wanted to leave Villarreal in January, and apparently down tools a little bit. They seem to think he didn't put in as much effort as he could have done after his move. He didn't get his move away, with the likes of Arsenal being linked to him. They also went for Suarez from Barcelona instead, so that's perhaps interesting. But the best thing about this is the fact I don't know him, because if these well-respected journalists are to believe, in the sense that he could become, a regular in Spain's setup, and we all know how good those players are in Spain, technical as well, the type of football we want to see Pellegrini play, type of football we think Pellegrini wants to play as well. And that's what excites me, because sometimes we're buying players, you know a bit about them, you know how good they can be. With this guy, we don't know. We just don't know, and that's what excites me a bit. He's versatile. It sounds like he can play wide, he can play central, can play a little bit deeper, but it sounds like he's going to need Rice and another centre midfielder in alongside him if he does that, because one of the journalists said he can be a bit lazy off the ball and he can switch off a bit, but that needs to be coached, and he thinks it can be coached. The last comment I want to make about this is the type of strategy I've been wanting to see at West Ham for a long time. High transfer fee, but the plus side for the club is his wages are so low. He was only on £15,000 a week at Villarreal, or around that, so he's more than doubling his wages at West Ham, but he's still believed to be on £40,000, £50,000 a week at West Ham. This is fantastic. This is what we need. Players that are no longer in their peak contract, players that are no longer paid 100 grand a week with 3 years left to go, and it's going to take them into their 30s. You know, it costs more up front. The transfer fee is bigger, but so is the reward. The risk is smaller, in my opinion, because if it doesn't work out in a year or 2 years' time, you can probably still sell him and get most of your transfer fee back to a Spanish club. By the way, Pablo Fornals, don't know who you are, mate, but bloody hell, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Fornals, the Fordmeister, Forney, the Fornicator. Call him what you will, but let's be fair, none of us have heard of him 5 days ago, and I know that to be a fact because I asked loads and loads of people who our next signing should be, and not one single person came back with a name of Pablo Fornals. But I've had a look, and he looks very, very good. Really tricky, very technical. He can pass extremely well. Where's he going to fit in? I don't know. I still think that he's going to be playing alongside Declan Rice a little bit deeper than Lanzini or Jack Wilshere, but it certainly does give us a mouth-watering prospect. I think there were times last season when Felipe Anderson was our only creative player and Pellegrini had to play a pragmatic approach. Now, I think when we signed up for Pellegrini, or Pellegrini signed up with us, nobody was expecting pragmatism, were they? So what we expected was a bit of adventure, a bit of excitement. I think we're going to get all-out attacking football. So don't expect to see necessarily either Wilshere be dropped or Lanzini be dropped or something like that. I think we're going all-out. I think we're going to attack teams. I think this sort of technical passer is going to really help us open up defences. The choice of centre-forward is going to be hugely impressive. I think we're going to see a possession-based game increasing more and more and more. Certainly, we're going to see the team built in Pellegrini's image. I'm looking forward to it.